Hey everyone, happy FAQ Friday, Frequently Asked Questions Friday. Yep, got that. So I've been up since 4, as a lot of you know, and so it feels a lot later for me than it really is, and I might be a little crazy because I didn't sleep so good because I was afraid I was going to sleep through my alarm, and anyway, we are here together now. So, lots of questions. Thank you everybody for pre-submitting them, so I'm just going to jump in, or whatever, fun times. So the first question is, any suggestions about how to how to handle Thanksgiving? Yes. So I read your mind. I knew this was coming because it always comes right around before Halloween. I get all the questions about Thanksgiving. So we're actually going to have an amazing email series. It starts November 3rd. If you're already a member of Meal Mentor, you will automatically get the emails. Don't need to do anything. If you're not a member of Meal Mentor, you can still get the emails even if you're not a member. You just have to be on our mailing list. So pop on over to getmealplans.com, get your free sample meal plan. You'll get on our list and you'll get the whole series. It's going to be incredible. It's going to have the do's and don'ts, what to make, what to say, what to do. It's just going to be super duper awesome. And if you want some free Thanksgiving recipes, that's another way to get some. So definitely do that. Check that out. Huge series coming ahead. And I'll probably do a live FAQ question here on Facebook too and Instagram. But definitely you don't want to miss this series because that's got all the information. So that's there. Here's a strange question. I almost don't know how to answer it. It is, what are your thoughts? Oh no, come back to me, Facebook. What are your thoughts on aquafaba from canned beans? So this is from it's that goopiness that's in canned beans. So I don't really have thoughts on it. I don't really know how to have a thought on it. It's just kind of a thing. It's like, do I have a thought on apples? Like, I like them. So I think the question is, do I use it? And I've been using bean liquid as like a binder or to thicken up chilies for a really long time, and I still do. I know that people have done some interesting stuff with it, like make little meringue things, but I don't need more desserts in my life, so I don't use it for that reason. But I've definitely used the aquafaba for, like I said, in my bean balls or my bean burgers or in my bean loaves or let me see, what is another time I use it? Oh, in oatmeal cookies. I use it a lot of time as an egg replacer in oatmeal cookies. There's a recipe on happyherbivore.com that does that. It's a bazillion years old from when I first started blogging. But I don't really have thoughts on it. I haven't really done any of the fancy pastry stuff with it because mama don't need pastries in her life. Anyway. Does losing weight mess up the menstrual cycle? So any change to your body, if you're a woman, sorry guys, if you're listening, any change to your lifestyle, your body, anything can interrupt that. So if you're having some problems, definitely talk to your doctor about it. Some women, they have some issues during weight loss. Some women don't. It really depends. It also depends on like I said, your age, your body, what your cycle was like before, what your diet was like before. There's a million things. So just talk to your OBGYN and be really honest with them and give your body some time to just sort itself out when you change something. I knew, exercising, I had problems all the time, even though I was really overweight. Any kind of spurt change in my exercise, especially in college when I was a lot younger, it really screwed up my cycle. So don't get too stressed about it, but definitely talk to your doctor. Lindsay, did you ever not like plain salad? So I was a really bad cook. I know, it's crazy. I wrote a bunch of cookbooks, but I became a good cook, which is why I wrote those books. So I got used to eating food I didn't like all the time, food that didn't taste good to me because I was too poor. I couldn't throw it away. I just had to make it work. And if you're a member, there's a really great thread in the forums about ways to save a dish. But so I just kind of got used to sometimes eating meals that, maybe didn't tickle my fancy. So I guess, yes, I probably didn't always like it, but I would just eat it anyway. But if you're looking for some ways to dress up a salad without using sort of that heavy, really, fatty, high calorie dressing, there's a great, amazing blog post on happyherbivore.com. You can search for oil-free salad dressings or salads or something like that, and you'll get a treasure trove. But just sort of off the top of my head, some things are fresh lemon juice or lime juice, hot sauce, salsa, hummus mixed with a milk, almond milk to make it creamier. My husband loves to do the salsa. I know a lot of people use guacamole or avocado. I think I said lemon juice already, or really any kind of a fresh juice. All of those things work great. A combination thereof. So good. I love to do, because I love mustard, I love to mix all different kinds of mustards with balsamic and then put that on. Sometimes sometimes I need to thin it with water if the mustard's really thick. Another option is, I actually got this from Colin Campbell. He really, really, really likes to do soy sauce and mustard, and sometimes with lemon juice and sometimes without. And you can kind of play around with the ratios. And the nice thing about that is you can make it at pretty much any restaurant. So, especially if you carry soy sauce in your purse like I do. So that's an option for you. Like I said, I think I mentioned hot sauce, which is something you can get everywhere. If you eat honey, if you're not ethical vegan and you eat honey, you can do Dijon mustard and honey, and it makes a honey mustard. Yum. You can also use agave if you're a vegan, so that's an option for you there. Lots of options, even more. If you're a member of Meal Mentor, we have a ton of DIY dressings. Check out the DIY book, and of course, all of your meal plans have dressing recipes in them, so there's some options for you. Okay, next question. My husband says very little, no cheese is made with rennet anymore, but I can't find any information. So I never really ate cheese, even when I wasn't plant-based. I didn't really eat cheese, so I'm not by any means a cheese expert at all. And if you don't know what rennet is, I will let you just Google that to find that out, but I warn you. So as far as I know, because I did a little investigation before this, there are a lot of cheeses that just can't be made without rennet, which means they're technically not vegetarian, even though we all think, oh, cheese, it's vegetarian. If you know what rennet is, you're going to be like, no, that's not vegetarian. So one thing I know, like Parmesan, for example, can't be made without rennet, or so the cheese experts on the internet say. I'm going to post a link at the end of this if you want to do more reading on this, but since most of you guys are plant-based and trying not to eat cheese, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this. And like I said, not a cheese eater, not a cheese expert. So, moving on. Oh, this is a really great question, and I could talk about this for like days and days and days, but I won't. It's how do you get through the weekends? I do great sticking to the plans on the weekdays, and then it all falls apart on the weekends. And so there is an entire episode dedicated to this on the Shortcut to Slim podcast. It's the beginning of season 2. I talk about this weekend problem specifically and why this happens and what you can do about it. So definitely check out that episode and some of the sciences that are linked to it. It has a lot to do with mindset. But what I can say with you right now is one thing that I did is I changed how I hung out with my friends. I started saying like, let's have a picnic, or why don't you come over to my house for dinner, or let's go for a hike or a bike ride, or let's go to a roller skating rink. That's a new thing I've been doing with my friend Robert on Wednesdays, and we love it. It's so fun. So we go roller skating. A lot of my friends like to go bowling. That's like a new thing that we've been doing, kind of coming back to the things I used to do as a kid. And I find that it's like physical and it's more fun. So I try not to meet friends in bars and restaurants anymore. I'm would rather, and they're the same way too. Like my friends have started doing it too. Like I'm starting to get more invites to come over to a friend's house for dinner, or like potluck, or to watch a movie or Netflix or something at their house instead of going to the theater. And I don't know if my friends are also trying to eat healthier or they're trying to save money, but it's so much nicer because like I can sit comfortably, and I know where the bathroom is, and I can just like wear casual clothes, or if I maybe don't want to put makeup on, a lot of my girlfriends don't care. Like it's just really much more casual. It's cheaper. It's more intimate. It's quiet. I can hear them. I can have conversations. I don't feel like, oh, dinner's done. Let's pay the bill and we have to leave. Like if we want to hang out for another 2 hours, it's fine. We're not holding this waiter up that's not getting another fare. So it's just a lot of different options. Like I said, hiking, taking the dogs to the park, walking. Some of my friends and I like to just walk around like our town, like just walk around and see what's come in. And we've actually found some really cool shops and things that we didn't know existed. I found a really amazing cleaners that I had no idea was literally down the street from me. Of course, if you're a girl, maybe mani-pedis are an option, but I just started trying to find ways to see my friends that used my body and didn't use food. Like, let's try a new yoga class. Like, let's try a new thing. And it's made a huge difference. And it's a little helpful that I'm in LA and everyone's kind of body conscious, but that's what I do. And even when I go home to New York or to Boston or something, these are the things I suggest to my friends. Like, hey, can you guys show me the latest museum or an art thing? Or I just look for free things to do. Just search free things to do where you live, city name in Google, you'll find it. But yeah, I just basically have retrained my friends to be like, oh, I'm the friend that you hang out with when you go do some body thing. You don't sit at a bar. And it works. Took some adjustment, but we're all healthier for it. Okay, so, here's another great question. I have a question about plateaus. When they happen, how do you break them? So first, it's something that needs to happen a really long time. So if you hit a plateau for like a week or two, that's not really one. I'm talking like 6, 7, 8 weeks. If you really aren't seeing any kind of change and it's that long, then you need to change something. You need to reevaluate how you're eating. Are you overeating? Because remember, when you lose weight, your calorie needs come down too. And a lot of us make that mistake. I certainly did. I lost weight, but I didn't shrink my food. My body shrank, but my food portions didn't shrink. So of course I didn't lose any more weight because I was then overeating at my new weight. So that's something to do, is look at your diet, see, do I need to change something? Like, what else needs to change? Do I need to maybe tweak the way I've been eating? Do I need to maybe not keep having a second or third snack? Like, really sort of evaluate what's happening there. But like I said, this should be after several weeks. If it's just 1 week or 2 weeks, it could be your body just working itself up, or your weight just isn't showing on a scale because it's such a horrible tool. Watch last week as I talk about it. It's such a terrible tool, which comes to my next question, which was people were saying, like, Lindsay, you said in your last video that instead of using your scale, you focused on your body fat percentage. What's a good body fat percentage? So I don't make numbers my higher power, or that's like if you've ever followed 12-step programs that talk about higher power. Anyway, I don't make 12 steps my higher power or my like beacon or my anything that determines anything in my life, because they're just numbers. And I know it's easy to say that, but as I said last week, if you see a number on a scale, it doesn't say you're going to look the way you want to look. It doesn't say whether you're going to fit in the pair of pants you're trying to get into. It's not going to tell you if you're going to physically like your body, because you can take 3 people who are the same height, the same build, the same weight, and one's going to look super duper muscular because they're a professional athlete, and one's going to look just really healthy, and another person's going to look like, oh, maybe they're a little bit overweight, and it's all because they're the same weight, but their muscle to fat ratio is different, and you just don't get that. And even with body composition, the reason I like body fat percentage is because I actually was the same weight, and I thought nothing about me had changed. But then when I got my body fat percentage, I saw that even though my weight was literally the same on the scale, I had actually decreased body fat and increased my muscle. And I never would have known that if I wasn't tracking my body fat percentage, and I would have probably been kind of sad. And sure, I could see like a little bit of a visual difference, but because it happened so slow over a year, I just didn't know. And in this last scan, where I did maintain for a year, which I was perfectly happy about, I still saw that I got more muscle and still a little bit leaner, and more importantly, I had muscle symmetry, because the year before, my left side of my body just was not up to snuff with my right side. I had some serious imbalances. I've been in physical therapy and doing stuff to work on it, and then I saw those results. I saw the symmetry, so it was amazing. But I just use body fat percentage as a tool to evaluate and see where I'm at and if I'm happy. And it's also can be helpful to just like look and be like, okay, right now I'm 18% or 20% or whatever your percent is. And you could be like, let me look at myself. What do I want to change? How much more muscular do I want to be? Or how much more fat do I want to lose? It's just, don't make the number your power. Just kind of use it as a tool for evaluation. Does that make sense? Okay. Oh, last question. I know, I'm really blowing through because I'm like, so like, I treated myself to a soy latte. I'm sorry, but it was so good. Did you see it on Instagram? It was so yummy. Anyway, so last question. Sometimes I feel famished, more than just a little hungry, kind of lightheaded, almost faintish. Am I undernourishing myself? So in that case, you could be. It could be that you're just like, you were extra active that day, your body was repairing itself more. Every day your body's different, and it controls you. You don't control it as much as you wish you could, and you think you do, you don't. And so in those cases, if you are starting to feel really faintish, you should have something to eat. You should definitely do that. I would say, when that happens to me, because it does sometimes, so I'll be out running around and all of a sudden I'm like super famished. I'm like, what happened? Oh, that's right, because I've been running errands for forever, and I'm bleh. So in those cases, have like a banana or an apple or an orange, or if you have a potato in your purse, like I usually do, that's a great option. So there's a lot of things to do, but definitely if you're starting to feel like you probably need to drink some water or have a little something to eat, and pay attention to when this happens. Like think about your whole day and what got you there, and that can maybe help make sure it doesn't happen in the future. For me, what often happens is I'll be up in the morning and I'm a busybody flying about my house, getting my stuff ready for the day, and then I'll go, to a yoga class or run some more errands, and before I know it, I've like done all of these things, and I'm like, why am I tired? And then I'm like, oh, that's right, because I need to eat some food. Like I've just been so busy doing all these things. Or it's happened to me at work too. I'll be like, blah, 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 gotta work, deadline, gotta fix, because I'm such a workaholic sometimes. And then all of a sudden I'm like, And I'm like, oh, I forgot to have lunch. I'm going to go do that now. So just something to think about, keep in your mind. Anyway, have a beautiful weekend, guys. Thank you for hanging with me on this FAQ Friday. I was so excited to hear how many of you guys loved my Halloween tips yesterday or last week when I was like, I just have a rule that I don't snack, or I just don't eat Halloween candy. Like, that's how I get through it. I don't eat Halloween candy. I'm telling you, with me, with some stuff, I have to take that addiction model. I have to just be like, nope, because I will bargain, justify, and argue myself every which way. Oh, but it's just one. It's just one. No, it won't. It's never just one. Anyway, thanks for all the hearts and loves. I love you guys. I will probably, it's supposed to cool off. It's still 91. I mean, come on, weather. It's supposed to cool off, and I will finally make these beet burgers because everyone loves them, but maybe not. But the curry was delicious. I hope you saw the pictures. Okay, I'm really going this time now. Okay, bye. Nope, wrong one.